Alright, so this will be a quick video on how to take down the 1911, specifically this Ruger 1911. I'm going to do it from this side so you can't see the serial number, which I was trying to hide. So the first thing you do is make sure there's no ammunition in it. If there's no magazine, but just make sure there's not a round in it. We'll do that. Rack it a few times. Alright, there's nothing in there. Okay, so pulling the slide back so you can pull the hammer back. Next thing you're going to do, I'm going to use this table back, and then I'm going to take, let's see if I can do this from this angle. Yeah. So you take your takedown tool, make sure that this side is up. It may not matter, but I usually find it easier to do it this way. Besides, you can see the Ruger logo there. Now, you want to press down and turn towards you. You don't want to turn it away to you, because what that happens is that slide bushing or whatever will come right out, and then everything comes out, and you don't want it to necessarily do that. You can, but it's not advisable. So we're going to push this down, push it so that you hear this portion go down. That's where the spring is. And then you rotate slightly, just enough to get this bushing off center, and then you can twist it and then slowly release the spring action so you can take this off, and then your spring is loose. Okay, now comes the tricky part. This took a little practice for me to figure out. You can't really see it too well, but right here there's a little notch. You need to bring your slide back so it lines up with the tip somewhere in the middle here of the slide release. Now what I do is this. I was doing that and then just trying to see if I can poke it through. On the back side, put your thumb on that slide button there. And then what I do is I basically start pushing and then just move the slide around so you can see this slide release pop up a little bit, and you see now it's starting to come up. Now you can just take it off, and then once you take it off, voila, it all comes apart like that. Very easy. So last steps are, take this, pull the spring out like so, move this here, there you go. Then you take the barrel out. One of the things you're going to notice is this barrel is very, very tight. You can't just yank it out like you can on the Tokarev. You got to line it up just right to get it out. Oh, first thing you got to do is, I just realized, backtrack. The first thing you got to do after you take the slide off is twist this barrel bushing all the way to the opposite direction, and then it'll pull out. It's got a channel in there. It's got a channel in there, so it's slotted to go in, like so. And then when you turn it this way, it comes right out. Then once you do that, you can take your barrel out, and you'll notice that it's very, very tight in there. Usually you have a little bit more space than this in most of the 1911s from what I understand. So you just can't yank it out. You got to line it up right, and it'll come out. And there you have it. That's it, folks. Not much else to it. Very easy to do the strip down. So to put it back together after you've cleaned it and everything. Oh, incidentally, I want to show you this. See if you can see it. Now the barrel is not exactly 100% clean, but look how thin it is. This is a lot thinner than the kind of barrels you see on other pistols of its make and like. I'm not sure where she would focus. There you go. It's a really thin barrel. It's very light, but it's got the lugs on it like all the 1911s. It's really nice. That's all I gotta say. So let's put it back together. So you take your slide, channel it just right to slide it back in. You can see it's set up in such a way so it's very idiot-proof to get it in there and fit just right. And you take your bushing, take it in there, twist it like that, turn it the other way, like so. Then you take your spring, slide it in, slide it through the hole. Then you'll see like there's this, like all 1911 type rifle pistols, it has this little channel thing here. Let's see. It has this little cutout here that needs to be flush with the barrel, like so. And you can see it's very flush and won't go anywhere. You want to back that up and get this little thing up here like that. Okay, so once you have that done, then you're ready to put the slide back on. So let me get over here. Like so. And then you just slide it on. Sometimes you get to this point, you have to kind of push it in a little bit like that. So now we bring the slide back to where it was when we took the slide release out. So you want that little notch that's here to be about center. Now here comes the hard part. Sometimes you got to jiggle around and make sure that this barrel, sometimes you have to move the barrel around a little bit so that you look in there. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, see there, it's like Connect 4 or something. You want to make sure that you can see all the way through that bushing pivot, I guess, or whatever it's called. So you can slide your slide release mechanism in. I usually just take it and then force it down. And of course we have a little problem here. I take it at an angle and then just push it in like that. Sometimes you'll find that you have to work it a little bit. Like right now I can slide it around a little bit and it'll come right back out. And then just put it right back in. There you can see here there's a little spring catch that pushes out to kind of keep the slide in place from it getting too loose. Sometimes it's a bitch to get over that, and you have to just press down real hard to get past it. Let me show you. It's this little piece right here, and sometimes if you try to press down on it, it doesn't work. But I've noticed if you put it at an angle, usually you can get it to go through like that. So we've done that. Let's go ahead and push the spring back down. Then I'll just bring it up like that. Then I usually push it by hand or thumb. Sometimes if it's loose enough that you can push it down all the way and then slide the front slide bushing in like that, and then you don't even need to use the tool. Other times if the spring is really stiff, you're going to have to use that to put it in place. Alright, so we've put it in there like that. Let's rack it. Still in pretty good shape. Pull the trigger, rack it again, function check. There you have it. I tell you what, it's my favorite handgun I think I've ever shot. And I haven't shot a whole lot, but I've shot enough to know what I like, and I really like this gun. There's some things the Glock is still better. Let me see if I have this over here. I have this DeSantis holster kit under the foolish notion that I could conceal carry. I got one where it has the boot, or it has the belt loops here, so you can put it like in the small of your back kind of, or somewhere in your waistband. You have to be a big man to stick a 45 in it and get away with it. But, you know, I think our state's going to have a open carry law, so it really may not matter much longer. Anyway, there you have it, folks. That's all she wrote.